And finally, after 3,627 days, 87,048 hours from the ashes, from the ruins of the Wii U, Xenoblade Chronicles X, one of my personal favorites in the Xenoblade franchise, is finally making a return, which I'm excited like the rest of y'all, especially for those who have not played it and recently have become Xenoblade fans. Now, your boy been playing Xenoblade and was a part of Operation Rainfall way back in the day, like what was that, 2010, 2011, when we couldn't get these top tier RPGs that were released only in Japan, along with, was it Pandora's Tower, The Last Story, Xenoblade? We did miss out on that Eden Earth type game, which I wonder if I can get localized somewhere. Anyway, regardless of that, Xenoblade Chronicles X is upon us. And it's only, what, a few months away, which begs the question, or actually makes me say, is it a little bit too little, too late? Now, hold on. I know that's a controversial topic, not only with my fellow content creators, but also with Nintendo fans. And the reason why I say that is, have y'all not been paying attention? Have y'all not been paying attention to these last couple of years, especially when it comes to these RPGs, these Japanese and Western and just altogether great role-playing games that have been dropping, that have dominated the charts, which still makes me think, like, all this crying about console wars, which I don't know why people still doing that, and all this crying about there ain't no games to play. Well, shit, maybe if you took your head up out of Call of Duty, 2K, and Madden for a second, you might be able to stop and smell the roses of other great titles that's been out. My fear for the game is the fact that it's going to get lost in translation like so many other games recently have gotten lost in translations. Bad enough, it got lost in translations on the worst Nintendo console of all time. I don't care how y'all try to spin it. We can look back in hindsight and talk about how great the Wii U was. Well, if the Wii U was so great, they wouldn't have dropped off after 4 years, threw in the towel, waved the white flag, and said, you know what? Let's just use the Wii U as a prototype for the Nintendo Switch, which, ironically enough, most people thought that the Wii U was just a proponent or an add-on with a tablet to the Wii. And honestly, I mean, the graphics was it was better, but it was just too much of not enough. And they had all these games they dropped at one time instead of, slowing it down, taking its time. The Wii U, in all honesty, wasn't bad. It's just that it was bad marketing, bad production, and this also goes to show when these top tier, these video game companies get arrogant. They thought that the success of the Wii was going to bleed over to the Wii U, kind of like they did with the PS2 to the PS3, while they dropped this, crazy ass price point, which we're seeing again now with the PlayStation Pro. We're gonna see how that go. But sometimes to be a truly wise person is not only learning from your mistakes, but vicariously learning from mistakes of others. So we're gonna see how this $700 console is going to sell. But after the 13.56 million units of the Wii U sold, worldwide, it was no surprise that the Nintendo GameCube, that Wii U's version, that Xenoblade Chronicles X, was dropped way back in 2015 only sold about 840,000 copies, which was just 100,000 below Wii U's the first rendition of the last story. I really love the last story. We're not gonna see another one of those. Hironobu said no. So, I understand, bro. Work on some new projects. Enjoy your grandchild. Enjoy being a grandfather. But Xenoblade Chronicles 1 sold about 913,000 copies worldwide. And it probably would have sold more if it would have dropped at an earlier time within the Wii's life cycle. Again, I'm not saying all that to say that it's a bad idea that we're finally getting Xenoblade Chronicles X. Man, I just bought Xenoblade Chronicles X again for the Wii U because, hell, I don't know what happened to it. Sometimes games just disappear sometimes. I probably, when I sold my old Wii U, probably left it in there. I did do that with Xenoblade Chronicles 1 for the Wii U, for the Wii, but anyway, that's a blunder on me, not you. So I did just buy this one because it's one of my favorites, and one of the reasons that it was one of my favorites, not only did it take place in my hometown, just happened to be in 2054, which is ironically, it's not too far from here, but the whole subplot and plot of Xenoblade Chronicle X was right up my alley, being it's in space, or the humans are traversing space and land on a new weird kind of planet that's inhabitable, but they got all kind of crazy monsters, of course. I mean, crazy monsters and stuff. Of course, I mean, it wouldn't be an RPG if they didn't have crazy monsters, of course. The game had not seen what they call the skills. We had not seen being able to control a mecha or a mech or a gear or whatever you want to anime kind of call it in I don't know how long. Matter of fact, we didn't see it in any of the other ones before it or the ones after it. Well, it's only one before it, but y'all know what I mean. And that is an element that I long missed in these type of Xeno games. I know Saga and Gears, those are whole different subjects. I'm not going to go and dig too much time into that because of the fact, well, shoot, I don't know what Bandai Namco doing with Saga, and what Square Enix owns Gears. We're never going to see. We're never going to see it again. We're never going to see it again. We're never going to see it again. No more Xenogears. No more Chrono Trigger. It's just that's just it. But if they were to redo those, I would definitely love to see Chrono Trigger in a Dragon Quest XI style, not the HD 2D. No. And I would love to see Xenogears in like this new style that Monolith Soft has been doing with the Gears games. And speaking of the graphics, this remastered new game of X looks gorgeous. Did y'all see my lady Elma? Y'all see Elma? She's also looking good and sassy. She out here looking good and sassy. One of the other things that I really enjoyed about Xenoblade Chronicles X over some of the ones that are in the same type of the genre, the same game franchise, is the fact that other than the mechas, the scales that we actually were able to control and buy parts and things for, we also got a chance to choose our own protagonist. If my memory serves me correct, he don't talk or she don't talk, but you do get a chance to choose them. And guess what? You can even choose what race you want. What? I won't go too far into the story because, again, this game I feel is going to at least sell, hopefully, close to 1 million copies because of the fact that the other one sold really well. Was it Xenoblade Chronicles 3 just sold 1.8 million, almost close to 1.9 million copies worldwide. So with the success of 3 and 2, and Torna, and then the definitive edition that dropped on the Switch, that sold 1.8 million as well, or close to damn near 2 million copies. This could have the potential to do really big things, especially money-wise. And the story was great from the part that I've played. I still haven't beat it yet. No, Wii U problems. Still didn't beat it yet, which is why I bought the one for the Wii U so I could, but I'm glad I didn't start it. So I guess this Wii U one's just gonna sit on the shelf with the Wii U, because that was the last game that we had that we actually needed or cared about on the Wii U. What's left? What's left? But that all ties again to what scares me. This year was such a huge year. I'm hoping and praying that Xenoblade Chronicles X does not get lost in the sauce or in the shuffle, kind of like Grand Blue Fantasy did. Grand Blue Fantasy was a great game, but Grand Blue Fantasy only, I don't know the exact numbers, but it got trapped in between Persona 3, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, excuse me, and Yakuza Like a Dragon, and Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. So sometimes when these games, even though this one's only gonna be 60 bucks or 70 bucks a pop, it's kind of makes the adult decision, I gotta choose. So what am I gonna choose? A newer game that's coming out, or am I going to go back to the Xenoblade games? Or am I going to get a remaster? And January 2025, we are already seeing more than a few games that, just in the RPG spectrum, Wii's Memory of Oath is dropping, Tales of Graces Remaster is dropping, Dynasty Warriors Origins is dropping. That's in January. And then in February, Assassin's Creed Shadows drops on Black History Month. Ironic? You bet it's not. The Legend of Heroes Trials of the Daybreak, Lost Records, Yakuza in Hawaii, Monster Hunter Worlds, Wilds is going to be dropping on February 28th. And then in March, a Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster. We finally get a chance to see that after I don't know how many years we've been waiting for that. And then Ulterior Yuma, that's dropping. Tales of Shire is also dropping. So my point to rattle all these list of games is it's going to be right smack in the middle. Personally, I've only been able to play maybe 4 like 100-hour games this year. I've been dibbling and dabbling and playing a lot of other games too, but some of these games like Xenoblade Chronicles X, that's a 100-hour game. 100-hour game. 100-hour tour. I don't know if y'all gonna get the Gilligan's Island reference. Of course, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna squeeze it in and try to play it somewhere. I don't know if I'm going to do that on the archives yet, because of the fact that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is still on there, maybe in between scenes and stuff, or in between seasons. But, you know, that's some behind the lab type stuff. But anyway, interweb, what do y'all think? Are y'all excited about this new Xenoblade Chronicles X? Did you get a chance to play it? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me just say this, because I forgot. I wasn't so happy with them pushing it out so late into the life cycle of the Switch. And I'm not the only person that says that. Not only other content creators that I speak with, but other friends and randos online. A lot of the Switch hasn't been getting played as much. And if we have an option to get it on the Switch or the PS5 or Game Pass or Xbox or PC, well, we're pretty much going to choose the other systems. Now, that doesn't apply for Xenoblade Chronicles X, because this is a Nintendo exclusive, but just like with Metroid Prime 4, well, not only would I didn't want Metroid, another first-person shooter Metroid game, I wanted an open world in space bounty hunter type system for Prime with first-person shooter elements. They should have waited. Just, you know, I mean, I'm not in the office, so I can't say, you know, but I feel as a fan, as a consumer, as somebody who votes with their dollar, I would have liked to see them wait just a little bit longer to drop it on the next, whatever the new name of Nintendo is going to be. But I mean, hey, that's why I make the big bucks here on the tube and, you know, not as a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate company. But anyway, interweb, let me know what you gonna do if you're getting the game, if you're not getting the game, and do me a favor before you leave, hit that like button. It helps out the channel a lot. I really appreciate it. And if you want to stay up to date with all things RPGs, make sure, and all things geek, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I make geekly content here on the channel all the time. And as always, interweb, remember to eat, geek, sleep, repeat. I'll holler at you on the next one. Peace.